Got a little taste of my own medicine.
We're live, pal.
Big night with Magic and Daniel talking about the Supreme Collection by Jazwares for AEW.
Yeah. And in that time, Cody's got his coat back on.
Cody got his coat back on. That's what I love about the arms coming off like that. It makes it so easy to put the accessories on and off instead of trying to struggle feeling like you're going to break your figures.
Mm-hmm.
But
good stuff. Yeah. Sorry about the technical difficulties there, homies.
Kind of show is this, guys?
I know, right? Seriously. I think I'm guest starring crashing the wrong show right now.
You just overloaded the server with your awesomeness. It just completely crashed everything down.
That's it. So let's talk quick, Daniel. So were you a wrestling fan before you got involved with all this?
Was that a question to me?
Yeah.
Oh, so for me, I grew up watching like the Attitude Era, WCW, like early 90s to like late 90s up till about like high schoolish. And, you know, like I was a huge fan of like The Rock, Stone Cold, Steve Austin, Sting, like NWO, all that Degeneration X. And then I kind of fizzled out throughout my like college years. And then before I was actually working at Jazwares, I was working on like costumes for Star Wars and Marvel, and like so I'm very used to like big studio stuff like Disney and like Lucas, Marvel kind of thing. And then I received a promotion to join the AEW team, and I was kind of like, I watched wrestling when I was younger. I don't really know the brand too well, and they're like, oh, like it's about 3 years old. So I just kind of just watched a bunch of YouTube videos for like the first like 2 years, and then starting January of this year, I've been religiously watching it. I've been to every fan fest now, getting to know the talent and the company, and it's been a wild ride, but it's been cool. Like it brings back like, you know, I feel like what AEW is now reminds me a lot of like what I grew up with. So it was an easy transition to kind of get back into the groove. And, you know, Magic's been a great, like, you know, historian person for me. Oh, this guy's like whatever. And so now, like, yeah, like I know like modern day stuff, but like kind of like that mid 2010s to 2020, I'm a little not too familiar with. I just know like really popular people like John Cena and things like that. But
you're not really missing much from that time period. It's like wrestling has hit its boom again lately, and actually so is wrestling figures. I feel like they're at the highest boom that there's ever been for wrestling figures.
Yeah,
so it's going to be an exciting time for you to come over and be a part of this brand and doing this.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah. No,
AEW is great.
How cool of a feeling is that you used to watch Sting as like a little kid growing up, and like now you get to work with him on these toys and like kind of, you know, being a part of that world. It's awesome, man.
You guys were at All Out. He guest starred on our panel, and I was just him and William Regal. Like I grew up with like watching them on TV, and to kind of meet them in person and like do something with them and like to promote our toys, like that was amazing. And I was so thankful that people with that like stardom caliber were willing to step into a panel with me where I'm like not even like a good public speaker, so they really like made the panel awesome. But yeah, I'm not the best like talk. Like Magic and Greg, they're like awesome like orators or whatever you want to call them, but like that's not me. But I was thankful that they joined our panel, and it was great.
That panel was great. It was kind of like a who's who of AEW. Got to see the Acclaimed, who are now the tag team champions.
Yeah, that's good timing, huh? Good timing on the announcements.
Seeing Sting throw the ring around at the.
Oh, and it didn't break. Just so you guys know, Sting threw it and it didn't break. So that just
throw
shows
your rings around
dirty.
It shows you how well it's actually made.
The quality of the product, man. No, I think that was the best AEW panel for the Jazwares figures to date. Like it was really cool to see the talent involved into it and kind of promoting their own products and their own upcoming releases and stuff. And it adds to the overall picture, you know. It really makes you go, man, these guys are excited about it. I'm excited about it. I can't wait. So it's really cool, man. And you guys did a great job.
It's also fun to see the guys who are really into their figures. Like Ricky Stark seems like he's really into it, and Danhausen is really into it. I love seeing that because it makes me want their figures even more, to know they appreciate it as much as we do. So Danny, so what is it like when you get to show off and Magic, you showing these figures to the guys that you make? That's got to be like a proud feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty intense sometimes. You don't know how they're gonna react to it, and it's like always trying to. Do they really like it? They're lying, but most of the time, like you can see it's genuine. And like Ricky Stark's the perfect example. Like seeing him get his figure seem so like elated by it is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and like as much as we want it to be special for the fans, I think because like unlike a Darth Vader or a Spider-Man, like making figures for wrestlers is really special. Like that's why like the panel too was like celebrating first time figures and things like that as well. Like people like Ethan Page, who has been in AEW for a long time, being able to announce his figure was awesome. Like he wasn't able to be on our panel because of the story, that whole MJF storyline stuff, but getting to kind of talk to him separately and letting him know that we announced his figure was very special because he's like this huge toy collector, and like being able to do something that's special to like those wrestlers or like Danhausen, like all these people, like it's just really seeing their real reaction is really, I think, what makes what we do special for us. And whenever we do our brainstorms, we try to keep those things in mind, like, oh, these guys, like, and we want to make it special. And like if we have chances to meet the wrestlers at like the pay-per-view events, we ask like, which outfit specialty do you want, like your debut outfit, or is there like a special outfit? Like some people might have made their own outfits for something or whatever, and then Magic and the rest of our design team, they really put a lot of thought into that. And like me and Greg are just kind of like the speaker that they really make the magic happen for real. So kudos to the design team and our PD team.
And no
Absolutely.
pun intended, making them mad.
I love it.
No, I love the personalness to it. Like it really goes a long way, and it shows in the work. Like when you get these figures in hands, like you see all the great detail put into it. Like I always joke with Magic, I'm like the boots. Like I love the boot detail on these toys, because usually you just get a generic like, oh, we're gonna throw this foot on here and like we'll paint it up. But like details in the everything. Like Darby's got the little Doc Martens. Malachi's got, look at those beautiful kick pads with the dot design on them. It's awesome, man. So
They're
so
Doc
cool.
Martens, not Doc Martens, because we don't have license for them.
Yeah. They're mock Martins, right? But it's so cool, man. Like everything, just those little details really add into the collector's fandom. Like you love to see it, and you love to see the work put into it, and the attention to detail.
Absolutely.
It's so amazing. Do you have a favorite reaction to showing off a figure yet, Magic?
Easily like Thunder Rosa. Daniel.
Oh, I wonder why. Why don't you tell this story? I wonder why.
I think I've told this before. Thunder Rosa was just super excited, and like she's Hispanic or she's Mexican. I'm Mexican too, so it was like a big connection there. And she was really happy to see it. It's like one of the first Mexican figures ever, probably. And like it's her. It's like her first one, and she was so proud because she'd made it to this point to get a figure. And like that's a big deal for a lot of these wrestlers. It's kind of like a weird milestone. I don't think a lot of people realize, like, but having it a figure is like you made it, kind of like you can't take this away from me now. Like you're forever this person. Yeah. So that was a really good one.
I love the Thunder Rosa figure, and I love the chase, and my goal is to get one of those chases. I haven't found one at a reasonable price yet, but it's such a beautiful figure.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Speaking of which, we saw the Blood and Guts that weekend. That could go and coincide with your Britt Baker Blood and Guts figure. You could relive that match, the magic of that match. I can't wait to get that one.
That's gonna be awesome. It's a great figure. Love it so far. It's coming out really good. The team's killing it on that one.
It's awesome. Love it. Absolutely love it. We've seen a lot of good stuff at this past Fan Fest. Like very, very solid, packed reveals, man. And like, I've never been more excited to collect a line before. Like, there's so much out there that is coming down the pipeline that I can't wait to just scoop my hands up on.
What were you most excited for, Mike?
Oh man, that's a good question. Absolutely Danhausen, of course. It's gonna be awesome. The Supremes, you know, you guys got that CM Punk Supreme that you announced. It looked really cool.
We saw 5 waves of the Supremes. Like
yeah,
and I'm so stoked for every friggin' line of the Supremes. And you know me, I want the LJNs. Give me all the LJNs.
Yeah.
Getting the Punk LJN, we're getting the Britt LJN.
Darby's coming soon. Oh, I can't
You
wait to
have
see
a
the Britt one.
wish list on LJN, Tom?
I mean, Punk is coming. Brian Danielson's next.
Mm.
Mm.
Love a
Wait and find out on the next FanFest panel.
I think a nice throwback would be to get a Sting out there eventually, because he was around when the LJN line was around. So I mean, it's one of those like lost puzzle pieces that you don't have in your collection, and it'd be so cool to have.
He didn't get like a Surfer Sting one. I thought I saw
He
that.
got who made him? Galoob. Galoob made like little small LJNs, and it's kind of like same pose and all that stuff.
The
But
official San Francisco toy maker, did he have one of those?
ooh, I think he had. I know he had a what's it called, a crow sting, black and white, but it was mobility. It was it was the later line, so not quite the same.
Yeah, did you collect wrestling figures when you were a kid when you watched?
I had a little bit of the Jax stuff, like a Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. I actually have to pause real quick. I have to go check on this Photoshop. I'll be right back.
Take your time. Yes, no worries.
I'm actually supposed to be working too.
Yeah. Well, while you guys were supposed to be working, I'm going to start opening up my Target exclusive Sammy, because I'm dying to see these trunks and
pants.
These are the Kenny Omega alt pants for the Supreme Walmart exclusive.
Oh my gosh.
They just look fantastic.
They look amazing. I see people using them
the
for a whole
jeans.
bunch of customs too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was hoping too, because it's easy to swap these out. Like you use them wherever.
Yeah.
This is pretty. It's similar sculpt to the UnRivaled 5 version with the suit, but if you compare the two of them, you can see that this one has a nice wash over. It's much more realistic, a much more detailed take on the same thing. So that's another example of taking it up to the next level, making it Supreme. So you're getting a lot more bang for your buck here. So the price point is higher, but you're getting a lot more for what you're paying for, because it is 2-in-1. It is really 5-in-1 if you want to mess around with it. You can do so many different looks.
Absolutely.
Mix and match this thing.
No, I'm a big fan of all the street clothes stuff coming out. Even the Cody in the suit, the Brody in the suit. We got to see these at FanFest.
This is one of my favorites from the last year. I love this one. I think it came out so good. It looks so nice.
You were telling me about the torso. Explain a little bit how you got that torso with the mobility that it's got involved in it, because that's a really interesting detail to it.
Yeah. So you can see this torso, it's really articulated still, didn't really lose too much. What we did was we made it so the hip sits inside of the upper belly. And this is a soft PVC. It's rubberized. So it has a lot of flexibility. So when it bends, it still bends really well. You get a lot of motion out of it. So I feel like suited figures typically are pretty stiff. And what I've tried to do is try to push for something more articulated. So even if it's just sitting in a chair, or if it's doing something a little bit less active, because it's not a ring look, but it's still able to do a lot of moves and procedures. I can pop it off. I'll show you guys. It's kind of really cool. So it's interesting. So this is the normal configuration where it pops in this way, and then it pops into there. But the different thing about this is that it has this outer layer that's a soft PVC that's rubberized, or softer, that allows movement. So you get a look of it sitting over the pants, instead of it looking like it's tucked in, or instead of it looking like it's cut off. It's a much more natural look to it that sits over the hip in a much more realistic way.
Yeah, big fan. Love the way it looks. It was really cool to see it in person, because as you were explaining it to me, you're showing it off. I was like, man, that's amazing. Like I said, good attention to detail to things.
One more thing. The Chase version is the debut kind of suited look. It has a different configuration even than the other one. So this one, the tie is fully exposed. So it's a different configuration, but it's still same, got really good motion. It's just a fun little detail that there's actual difference between the two beyond just the color.
That's so fantastic.
That tie really pops too. That's I'm gonna need to chase down a chase of this.
I love this one.
I'm a big Brody fan. I have the first chase, so I'm gonna need to get these too.
Yeah. Seeing Amanda's reaction to it, having actually met her this time and knowing her a little bit longer now, and seeing how much she really dug it and was really happy with seeing, especially this blue one. She was really excited about it. That just meant the whole world to me, because I definitely put a lot more work into Brody in particular and paid a lot of attention to his figure to make it great. So to see it actually be appreciated by the person who matters the most, I think was amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. It's really, really cool. And you guys have knocked out the Brody Lee figures left and right. They've been so good. And the fact that you were able to make a 2-pack with the Sun, the whole set was with the Dark Order. It's meaningful stuff to see stuff like that. And it's really cool for the collector. You walk into the store, usually you can barely find a tag team together. You got the whole Dark Order in one set. It was like instant, like, hey, just grab the back of the peg and throw everything in the cart and walk out. Like, it was a very happy store visit.
I think I have 4 of those Brodies so far because whenever I see it on a shelf, I buy it because I was a huge Brody fan, still am, and I was just waiting for that figure, and now I can't wait for the suited ones.
Yeah, I love them. These are some of my favorites for real.
Those are amazing. I can't wait to get those. What line is that in? Do you remember off the top of your head?
This is Unmatched Wave 5 or 6. I believe it's 6. 6.
Okay,
Yeah.
6, yeah. Okay, awesome. I'll be placing my order for those as soon as they go up.
Right away.
Yes.
Right away.
Like I need to get my order in instantly, or else I get disappointed if I get to back order 1 and back order 2.
Me and Tom's group chat is just like, hey man, this is up. Okay, buy it. Cool. You need anything else? Cool. I'm at the store. I seen this.
We text each other all the time about that stuff. So
oh yeah.
let's just tell Mike.
Do you guys toy hunt at actual like retail stores, or do you usually buy online? What's your guys' strategy?
More so, I use Ringside to take the frustration out of it, but it's still fun going to the stores and checking, and I see it there, and then I wind up buying a second set. Like I have 3 sets. I think it was an UnRivaled 8 with the upper deck. I have the ones without the cards, and then a set with the cards, all unopened.
Nice.
So
yeah, no, and same. I buy 2 of everything from Ringside, but I also like if I'm at the store, it's so hard for me not to want to buy stuff. And despite like I think it was the first wave when it came out, I was texting Magic the second they popped up. I was like, look, they're in stores, man. I was like, this is awesome, and like it was really cool to see, and it was like a nice refreshing piece to come out of COVID and everything, go back shopping again like normally, and like I had something to hunt down, which was so cool. So it was really nice, man. And, like it's always fun finding things in stores. Like nothing replaces that feeling as being like the Toys R Us kid, and going in and seeing stuff on the pegs. Like, yeah, man, that's great.
Hey, a funny story. I don't know if I ever told you guys this. I was camping out at the Walmart today. UnRivaled 1 hit, and they had 3 big things of toys, and they wouldn't let me jump into it. And they finally got to the Jazwares figures, and some other guy had come like 2 hours after I did, and he grabbed 2 of the figures out of my hand and left.
Did you suplex him and take one?
He was much bigger than me, so I didn't say much, but I got 4, so he only got 2. And then my Walmart never gets the displays of figures, but they had the whole AEW display, and they just kept getting them. My Walmart actually gets the AEW figures, where WWE figures, they don't get new ones. So
Yeah,
I'm quite lucky to have a Walmart that keeps it. Well, they get them in stock, but they don't last long.
then my Walmart has nothing. It's
Ah.
ghost town. But rightfully so. There's like 20 Walmarts in a 5-mile radius. But I did get to open up this beautiful bad boy.
Oh, nice.
Awesome Target exclusive. So cool, man.
I saw that Sammy reposted your story. You guys
He did
homies now or something?
Yeah, I mean, it was we share love of these Guevara figures because they're so great. But I mean, I love the spider webs, man. It's cool. It's a unique attire, very very pops, and it matches that red packaging. So it's like you see that they had a whole head cap of like WWE stuff, and the Sammys were right in the middle. And I was like, oh, there's only one left. Gimme, like, boom. So happy to grab it.
I love that red package. That was really cool looking.
Yeah,
Really nice about it.
It's unique because it matches the store, the exclusive.
Oh, I heard you guys earlier complaining about Walmart exclusives. If you guys follow UnRivaled and UnMatched, you'll know that our luminaries are blue, so we can't have too many blue foil, but
That makes sense.
yeah.
See, that makes
that guy.
I heard Tom just like ripping on the Walmart exclusive, so I had to call. I'm just kidding.
He's never happy, no matter what. He's just never happy with anything.
I'm sorry, the sticker wasn't enough for you. We'll have to talk to Chris Metzger and Steve to see what we can do to please Tom better.
Oh, all in sync now.
But you see this on the shelf, like it really pops.
No,
like, especially
I agree. Like,
compared to
awesome.
anything that's out. Like it really, like you can see all the AEW toys. You can see them from down the aisle. So like if you're looking for something specific, you just poke your head around. You see if they have them in stock. You walk right down there. It's an easy call out.
Yeah. You guys had Metzger on a previous podcast, right? Yeah,
Yes.
him and Steve.
Twice.
They are like, the way their brain works just amazes me. Like, we have some like ringside collectibles exclusives coming out, like all these things, like just the packaging really, like, you know, Magic and the rest of the team really make the figures pop, but the packaging like pops in like a different way that really catches your eye to really elevate the figures like, to another level.
It's the best packaging in the business. Like the blood and guts packaging is just so much fun. All the packaging, like it feels like there's no wasted space in the package either. It's like nice and compact. I love it.
Yeah.
And the packages, like usually I feel like I buy packages, I want to throw them away to get rid of take up space, you know. With all of these, like even the ones I have, like that I've just given, like I don't want to throw anything away. Like I love these packages; they look so good.
Yeah.
It's a huge
It really
testament to
is.
the packaging team.
I think we saw that CM Punk first dance at Fan Fest, that packaging. I can't wait to get that in. I've pre-ordered 2 of those the day it went up, and I think I need a third.
Yeah. I still got my ice cream wrapper from the show, so I'm gonna put my shirt in the shadow box and the ice cream wrapper and put the figure there. And I also got my brother-in-law for his wedding because it was his first wrestling show. I took him to was the Last Dance Punk show, so I got him the toy for his wedding present, which is gonna be awesome to give to him.
That was the first event we went to together, Mike.
It was. We did a lot of firsts that night.
Did you guys?
Tom, you also saw the debut of Soraya last week, right?
Yes.
Live.
That pop was
How was, yeah.
that was.
Magic and I were both like,
We had no idea who it was at first. Like when the music hit, and
oh
you see
really?
Diamonds. I'm like thinking, is that going to be Sasha? And then it was her, and like I think the unexpectedness of it being her made it even better.
Yeah.
There was no hints or anything. It just like out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
When did you realize who it was? Like at what point? Is it when you saw the name, or like was it when she popped
I
out?
think it's all kind of a blur, but I think it had to be once her name popped up there, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Paige. And then my wife just texted me, Paige is here, and I'm like, I know.
Soraya.
Soraya. No
Soraya.
page.
Soraya.
She turned the page.
Pronounce it right. It's Soraya, okay?
Soraya.
Soraya?
There you go.
She posted a Twitter correcting the pronunciation because a lot of people were saying Soraya.
That's why you're here, for quality control. All right.
brand guy, that's my job.
We got to get her to the line now. I can't wait to get a Soraya figure. Like,
absolutely.
What a game changer she is for the women's division in AEW. Can you imagine that her program with Britt is going to be amazing?
Yeah, the women's division is looking really solid.
And how crazy it was, because we saw Jamie Hayter come out first, and we're expecting her and Britt to go at it. And we're like, what? They're still on the same team, and then that happens.
Yeah, very nice, man. Very, very, very good. Nice little touch to the whole Grand Slam.
Grand Slam, they did an amazing job with both shows. I don't know if you guys went and watched Rampage, but it was a great 2-hour Rampage. But it was a great.
Was that filmed the same day, or
yeah, it was filmed right after
shows?
Dynamite ended.
Oh, so you were there for like 5 hours?
Yes.
Was Dark filmed too? Was that like a 5-hour wrestling
Only
show?
2 matches for Dark were filmed that night, so they didn't do a whole hour like they normally do. But that Sting and Darby match versus the House of Black, holy smokes, there were some crazy bumps in that match.
Yeah,
Darby
and Great Muta. Come on,
Great Muta.
That was
you can do that guy.
That would be awesome.
Great Muta. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was interesting. Like, was he like a guest star, or is he like part of the roster? Like, we'll have to find out.
Well, I know he's on his retirement tour right now, and Sting's actually going to be wrestling him and Noah for his final match, which is going to be huge.
Where's that taking place?
Probably Japan.
I need to get New Japan World. Son of a gun.
Well, it's not part of New Japan World. Noah's a different promotion. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so very cool though. Nonetheless, I mean, Sting and Muta had an amazing program, and through their entire career. So it's super exciting to see that kind of level of greatness, especially for Sting. Sting deserves that after all these years of his WWE run and now being in AEW, proving his grounds.
It's crazy what he does still, like jumping off those like buildings and breaking tables, and he's like just like totally fine after. I'm just like, oh my goodness, this man is like truly a legend for a reason.
Yeah. No, he's still got it. He still has it very, very well.
really does. It's on and he doesn't do what he can't do, so you don't notice if he's slowed down at all because he's doing what he can do, and he looks great doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
So
a
much
good
fun.
pairing throwing him with Darby because Darby takes care of a lot of the super stunts, and then Sting just gets crazy and New Jack's off the balconies and stuff. It's the best.
Turn it up.
Yeah, no, this is good. It's cool to see him back though. And I'm a huge Sting fan. I was very very worded about his WWE WrestleMania match, and I was very upset with the way they handled it. We did a whole show about it.
A couple of weeks ago.
But I'm very happy to see him back doing his thing the right way, the way it should have been done.
So since we're talking about the Supremes a bit, let's remind people what the lines we know coming up are. We know when is Malachi and Kenny supposed to hit? Do you know when those will be hitting yet?
Usually.
You should probably see it within the next like 2 months or so. Just with the whole like COVID situation, just like it's a little bit more unpredictable. We usually say about like 3 months to be on the safe side from the ship date. We just finished reviewing the FEP samples and Magic. I think there wasn't too many comments, right? So yeah, you should see it within the next 3 months. Like in time for the holidays, you'll definitely be able to see it
It's
at
gonna be
retail.
so the Supremes are going to be like a quarterly set.
Yeah, like two wrestlers per wave. Yeah, quarterly would be a good way to look at it.
That's awesome. And then we get El Penta and Ray Phoenix in Wave 3, right?
Yeah, from their all-out gear.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
With a huge headband stuff.
Those are going to look amazing. I'm super excited to see those in person. Those are
Series
awesome.
4 was Punk and Thunder Rosa, if I recall, right? And then Series 5 is the Young Bucks. Is that from the match with?
Not from the match from All Out. It's a different look. It's the all white looks with the Dior's, but not the Dior's, the Young Buck shoes. Yeah.
So we like YB instead of like Dior, but we really want to get the color schemes because Matt and Nick, both of them, they are all about their shoes. So we want to make sure that without getting into any legal issues, at least color scheme wise and stuff, we want to at least be able to showcase it to the best of our abilities in a legal fashion.
Yeah, we don't need any more Randy Orton tattoo situations coming up.
They got their own shoes coming out tomorrow, right?
Yeah, they do.
Like exclusives. Those are pretty neat.
Oh yeah, those were pretty cool.
And they just dropped that Penta and Phoenix are getting their own shoes too, which look awesome.
The
I'm super
Adoras.
excited about this. Yeah.
Quick question from Mrs. Bellcaster. Miss Bellcaster, how much impact has the supply chain crisis had on your productivity?
My personal productivity. I've worked harder than ever during this, so I'll say that. But like factories are shutting down, or like early on, they were all like at limited capacity, so they had like half of the staff. There's my dad. I'm dead.
Dad.
Everyone's parents here.
The real Magic.
Real
the OG. Yeah, like I mentioned, I think the impact is mainly more on like the shipping side, and even that we haven't seen too big of an issue. Like before, if it was like 2.5 months, it's like 3 months. But I think we were very fortunate throughout the whole like COVID era, like in terms of like productivity and the amount of we didn't have to like lower our SKU count or anything, and thanks to all our fans as well, like buying all the figures off the shelf. There wasn't too much of an impact from a like internal productivity. I think just like what everyone faces as a whole, like just like in terms of shipping, like and things like that. There's been a little bit bigger gap, but we've been keeping the same release cadence pre-COVID to the COVID era, so that we were very fortunate in that sense.
It's cool. Yeah, happy to hear that.
He got the information. He gets the goods. That's why we bring him on here. I never knew that.
Yeah, I was gonna be here for 30 seconds, and then you guys kept me here for 30 minutes.
We've been
like 45. No.
And I was gonna also like hide my camera, but then I realized like I have to like show myself to get into this studio. I thought this was gonna be like a Zoom call, but you guys have this whole like studio thing, so I couldn't surprise you guys.
Like the guys,
Okay, we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here and just
I
hang out and talk
appreciate
to
you
us.
guys letting me crash.
Oh, absolutely,
This is
man.
supposed to be the magic show.
we appreciate you guys coming on, and you both are welcome anytime. So it was
Absolutely.
fun getting to chat with you guys again, and we love the Supremes. We want everybody to know about the Supremes. Go buy the Supremes. It's an amazing line. So as is UnRivaled and UnMatched. So
Yeah.
And Tom, as the brand guy, I do have to correct you that it's UnRivaled Supreme. We don't own the lifestyle brand, so we have to have UnRivaled in the brand.
Okay, then
I got
was
it.
just off of
Like
Ringside Collectibles the way they had it listed. So
Oh, we're gonna have to call Tom and Jonathan and have a little chat.
Well, if you check the Turnbuckle Tavern post, they say Unrivaled Supreme.
The spellcaster knows what's up.
They're trying to do good work. Yeah, no, this was awesome, guys.
Where's Ace today? No Ace?
Oh, Ace is usually not a big guy. He's part of our AEW wrap-up team, and me and him do a WCW show called Shot of Nostalgia, where we go back to 1996 and watch all the old WCW, which is super fun.
That's what I know. I know that era.
Yeah, we're just getting to where Crow Sting comes back this week. It should be a very good episode, so it's going to be really cool, man. That's why I have NWO shirts. I haven't owned one since the 90s, and I had to re-pick up for the show and be like, yeah, man, I got to rep the brand.
all right, guys. So thank you guys again. I'm happy to have you back soon. So much fun. We can't wait to get more of our AEW by Jazwares figures. I love them all.
We need to hang out in person again soon.
Yes.
At some event that we can all meet up at. We're opposite coasts, but we'll make something happen.
Gotta go to Full Gear. Come into New Jersey for Full Gear.
That'd be fun.
Trying to get Mike to come.
Listen, man, you're always trying to get me out of here.
I know.
And I need to go out there. Absolutely need to go out there.
Only if
Twice.
Mrs. Belcaster shows up will we make an appearance to Full Gear.
Oh,
But,
she'd be down.
The awesome Belcaster.
Yeah.
I'll throw a big party at my house for everyone.
I only get a fraction of my greatness from her, eclipsing greatness.
That's true.
Uh-oh, Magic. Your dad wants to know what his Christmas present is.
I went to the Dodger game and I bought him a cup, and I told him about it. So it's his Christmas.
You didn't even take him to the Dodger game. You bought him a cup. Oh my goodness.
Guy gets his name on the Wrigley Field scoreboard, and now he's too good to take his dad to a Dodgers game.
My girlfriend took me with her work, so
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Again, thank you guys. This was great, man.
Thank you for letting me crash. Sorry, Magic, for interrupting.
Anytime, guys. This was great. And until next week, guys, come back next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern for Fig Night. Until then, we'll see you next week. Fig guys out.